Hi, welcome to Pod of Mercy. I am your host, Longhair Linda, and today's returning special guest co-host is
Nick E. Dixon. Hello.
Nick E. Dixon. How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay. Surprised that I've come back for a third time.
Honestly, why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not even surprised that you've invited me. It's surprised that I've actually said you. It's. Do you not know? In fairness, I say that, but actually, all your shows are always great, and I always listen to them as well. They're nice to listen to when you're doing stuff for anything else, and you're always so lovely, and all your guests are really good as well. So yeah, hopefully I can.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much. Um, well, firstly, thank you so much for doing this because this was super last minute. And yeah, no, it came in super clutch and you saved my bacon today. Thank you so much. So, what I wanted to do is do a kind of a shoot the shit type of episode because if I'm being all the way honest, I did not plan properly for this week's episode, which again is why this is so last minute and again why I'm so grateful that you could do this. But to start with, now you have, like you just said, have been on this show twice before.
Yes,
You have done rapid fires on this show.
I have.
So I wanted to do something a bit different. Now, if you remember the last time when we did, it was a bit of a fusion with the Talk About It network shows. So we did something on all three channels, I think, that night, and it was an absolute mayhem of a night of just too much drink. You
I don't
came
remember. No,
along.
no. I'm always told that I did it the night after, but yeah, I remember sitting at the laptop the night, and then everything else was a bit of a blur, to be honest, Linda.
I mean,
So
fair, fair. Well, we recorded a lot. We did audio only, we did video. I think we streamed that night as well. It was a lot. But anyway, you took it upon yourself to come up with your own rapid fire questions. A couple of which was sexual because it's you, but also there were some questions to do with a zombie apocalypse. So today, Nick, what I wanted to do is go through some zombie apocalypse would you rather questions to get a bit of an understanding of what
yeah,
you would do.
that's what I'm talking about. Here we
Yeah,
go. This is it.
cool. Well, I didn't think of these myself because, again, last minute, but thanks to BuzzFeed, I have 12 would you rather questions about a zombie apocalypse. Are you ready?
This is good. I know Mike's going to berate me here, so the pressure's on because when he listens back to this, he's like, "Dickhead, you should have said that."
Uh, well, it's not timed, so you will have a moment to kind of gather yourself and think. If you can hear popping in the background, by the way, that is because somebody's decided to let off some fireworks in my neighborhood. So apologies, listeners. But yeah, so it's not timed, Nick. You can think about don't think too long, but you can think about your answer.
Why would you not let off fireworks, man? It's, yeah, Tuesday, random night. Of course, you're just going to
Random
just
fucking
fire him up,
Tuesday.
wouldn't you? Yeah,
I
why not?
mean, although
Nice.
I don't want to be disrespectful. It might be like some kind of religious thing. So, if it is, my apologies. But otherwise, fucking out, guys. Tuesday. Okay. So, Nick E. Dixon, would you rather be turned into a zombie or watch everyone you love get turned into one?
Turned into a zombie. Easy.
Okay, that was quick. Okay. Would you rather be killed immediately at the beginning of the apocalypse or have to live through it?
Live through it. I'd like to, I'd love to see what happens.
What if you see something really terrible though, like everyone that you love like get fucked up or killed or turned into a zombie?
Doesn't my first answer cancel out that though? Am I now not
No,
immune?
this is an entirely different standalone question, Nick.
Then potentially in this scenario, I could just kill a lot of fucking zombies and have really great catchphrases and stuff, and just turn into an absolute fucking Arnie like character. So yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good with yeah. I'd love to survive it
Cool.
or just go live through it or whatever.
Okay, cool. All right, so number 3, would you rather escape the end of the world by living underground forever or in space forever?
Underground, like fuck space. There's
Right,
no way.
that's what I think. Fuck
Like fuck.
space.
Fuck space. Space business is space business. I've got no quarrel with space business, mate. Whatever happens out there stays out there. It's not for me.
Well, that's the first Nick E. Dixon quotable from today's episode. Space business is space business. I love it. Okay, would you rather endure a natural apocalypse or one started by humans?
One started by humans because it just gives me a chance to not only kill zombies but shoot like dickhead government officials in the face as well because they're pricks.
The views expressed by Nikki Dixon are not the views of Podamercy. We do not condone what he said with government officials.
They all get it, mate. Westminster, mate. I'll beeline to Westminster, even if they had nothing to do with it. You know, it's a fucking free for all.
Oh my god!
Johnson's door will be getting kicked in, motherfucker. Literally, it'll be a home invasion.
Wow, this is all very hypothetical. If you're listening, guys, very, very hypothetical. Please don't shut this down. Okay. Question number 5. Would you rather know the date of the end of the world or know its cause?
Ooh. Know its cause. Because if I knew the date and the date wasn't till like for years and years, it'd affect everything I do like up until that point. And I can't live my life like that. So I'd just rather know what started it, to be honest. Because potentially it can kind of help if there's any way.
I feel like I disagree with you on that one.
Go on.
I think I'd rather know the date because I'm a bit of an over planner. So like if the date was next month, I could prepare my underground bunker or whatever I need to prepare and get my family and the people I care about to safety. Because the cause, like I'm pretty sure I already know the cause. It's gonna be us. We're gonna do something stupid. Like the billionaires are gonna do something. It's probably gonna be robots, some other virus. It'll be something. Like I just don't see the point in knowing what it is because I kind of already do.
But what if the cause is something that you decide to stock in your bunker and then you're just gonna be zombies in your bunker? Like the cause is like canned peaches or something. And then, like, loads of canned peaches, so we're all going to survive, and then you just turn into zombies.
Well, then I fucked it, and I.
Or water or something. So you're like, right, I'm going to stock up on loads of water because that's going to help me, and that's what does it. And I'm like, Linda, no,
Linda, no,
no. We'd have to work together. Because I'd know what causes it. You know when it is.
Oh, we'd fucking kill it then. Oh, we'd survive that easy. Okay, I like that. Cool. Okay, number 6. Would you rather try to survive a global pandemic or a third world war?
A global pandemic.
Yeah, same. We've already done it once.
Yeah, exactly. Just because we've already done it. There's obviously what's happening because of what's kind of fed in the news to an extent. A war though is different. I watched the Pianist, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I literally watched that yesterday, and it was just so horrible. it really was. I just made me think like war is fucking shit, man. It's just horrible. It's literally just horrible. And I think to like a pandemic, obviously we've seen a lot of shit that's happened through this pandemic. But one thing that we've seen with lights is people have started to kind of come together a little bit. There's been a bit more of a kind of togetherness. I mean, a lot of people are going apart, but I'm seeing like, especially on social media and stuff like that, it's so much of we're in this together, like don't stop, fuck everything else. Like let's all just try and, fucking get through this. And a war like really tears people apart and turns people into monsters. It changes people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never survived. I've never lived through a war. So obviously I'm speaking again hypothetically and through what I've seen and heard in films and stuff. But I can just imagine it just being so horrible, to survive it as well. And the things that you'd have to endure and see, during that would just be awful. But yeah.
Right. And I think the emphasis is world war, isn't it? Because it's not just war in itself is terrible, but world war, that's massive, like without sounding thick, like that's so much bigger than anything that we've experienced. And to be honest, everything that we've learned about the previous two wasn't great, and that's not to say that this pandemic was great, but I feel like in comparison, just what we said initially, I've lived through that already and living through it, and we've done it and are doing it, if that makes sense. So I kind of have a roadmap to follow if it happens again. Whereas a third world war, with the number of nukes and the amount of fucking technology we have, are we even surviving it, let alone, do you know what I mean? I just feel like it's a bit
I mean,
much.
yeah. The question was, you would survive it, but I mean, it's what you know.
Oh,
What
that's
would
no, but it's
you
try to survive.
I'll try to survive. Sorry.
Yeah. How
Again.
do you try to survive getting nuked? Like, there's so much. What do we do? Do you know what I mean?
Going to space isn't an option for me, so I'll probably die.
Trying to
Like,
like go as underground as possible, survive the radiation. How do you even come back up? Like, it's just I don't even. Let me stay home. I can stay home. I did that. It sucked for a lot of it, but I can stay home.
yeah, exactly. No nukes. That's
Right,
fine.
no nukes. Please, no nukes. Okay, number 7. Would you rather stay behind to search for your loved ones or move to safer ground?
What, move to safer ground without my loved ones?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd stay behind the search. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. 8. Would you rather share supplies with someone and risk running out or hoard them and be alone?
Depends who it is.
All right. Oh, this is good. Okay, so if I'm not going to ask you, obviously, like, no brainers, but if it was a stranger that you met, okay, so this is a zombie apocalypse, right? So you met this stranger and they low key saved your life. Would you share your supplies with them and stick with them, running the risk of running out? Or would you just kind of be like, all right, well, thanks, mate, and then go? Keep it all to yourself.
I'd have to share it with them. It would just be it would just be tight if they'd saved my life, and then I was just like, right. So I mean,
No, but they don't know. So it's not like they won't know. So you don't have to like manage their expectations. They won't know that you have these supplies. They've just like clobbered a zombie in the head that was about to bite you, right? They have no idea what you have in your backpack. Does your answer stay the same? Do you still share?
Yeah, because it sounds like this. It sounds like they're a bit of a badass. They didn't just duck and run when they saw a zombie attacking someone else. They decided to intervene and help them, and just decided to smack a zombie. I mean, it sounds like this is the type of person I'd want with me during a zombie apocalypse.
Probably going to get further, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But it just sounds like they're a bit of a badass. So yeah, fuck it. Yeah, keep them along.
I agree. And if you've got a badass like that, you can actually go and find more supplies likely because they're brave and they will get rid of anything in your way. Okay, I like that. Number 9, would you rather leave an injured person behind or endanger yourself by tending to their wounds? I think this is going to depend on who it is again, isn't it?
No, just injured how? I mean, if they got a bite, I mean, it'd be a mercy bullet, to be honest. No questions, no talking.
Wait, say that again.
If they got a zombie bite, it would just be a mercy bullet, wouldn't it? I'd see it.
No, it's not a zombie. It's not a zombie bite. They're just injured. So let's say they've cut themselves on something while you guys were running away from zombies. So they're not actually bitten yet.
To be honest, I like to think that I'd like to try and help them, but I wouldn't risk it. You know what I mean? They say they cut themselves. When do they get it? How bad is it? Does it look like just a scrape, or does it look like someone could have bit them? It sounds like they'd be getting a bullet, mate.
Wow. So not even just leaving them, you're actually going to kill them.
Mercy, innit? The zombies are about to get them. Mate, if I leave them, the zombies will eat them and tear them to bits, and then there'll be another zombie, potentially, if the zombies leave anything left. So I'm saving them from a fate worse than death.
Wow. Okay. Question number 10. Would you rather spend the rest of your life looking for someone you love or watch them perish? Yikes, this is...
Jesus Christ.
I got halfway through that. I thought, oh, what am I reading? Whoa.
That's a hard one, isn't it? Would I rather,
all right,
rather search for someone that I love, a loved one, or would I just rather watch them die?
Oh, dear.
I don't know. I'll need to think about that one, Linda. It's a bit hard.
All right. Okay. I've got it. Question 11. Would you rather run back to grab your most beloved memento or leave it to get to safety? First of all, what's your most beloved memento?
Memento. So I guess if we're not, obviously, memento. So we're talking about items, not like people.
Not people.
Yeah. I guess my camera. because it brings out my creativity, and it kind of gives me a third third person's kind of view on the world, so it feels like I can disappear a little bit. So it'll probably be that.
Okay. So
Um,
so it's your camera, and the zombie apocalypse has just started. You've got literally your backpack on your back, and a zombie has just broken into, the place that you're at. They're in your apartment. You need to leave, but your camera is kind of over on the side. Do you risk it to go and grab that camera, or do you just say fuck it and just run out?
Again, it depends. I like to, because all I'm thinking of just is a really cool kind of Indiana Jones type thing. Like I just kind of dive over the sofa and run out, and slide through the closing garage, just before the zombie gets me, and kind of grab it in the last minute. And it's going to be really cool. But in reality, to be honest, if I've got my kids out of the house, and I'm going to have to help them survive, I wouldn't risk it if I was with other people. If it was just me and I didn't have anyone else, then maybe, fuck it, maybe. It depends. It depends on the scenario, to be honest. If I were with people that were dependent on me, then no, I'll just go. If I wasn't, then I'll get it.
You would risk your life for your camera in a zombie apocalypse if it was just you.
Yeah, I'll shoot it. I'll shoot the zombie apocalypse. I'd film it all.
And put it where? It's an apocalypse, Nick. Where's this footage going?
You don't know what's going to happen after. There could be a cure, wipe out all the zombies, and people are going to want to know what happens. And when that time comes,
there's CCTV everywhere. They'll see the footage of zombies everywhere. Why is yours special?
They would have, yeah, but they wouldn't. But the CCTVs would only capture a single point of view. They wouldn't have captured the actual survival, the day in the life of actually surviving this, going from town to town and foraging for water and food and killing zombies and shit. Great stuff. Yeah, I'd watch that.
Jesus, okay.
Fucking ripped.
I'm gonna move on. That's a silly answer, but fine. You're entitled to it. All right, last question then. Would you rather witness the apocalypse or only know a post-apocalyptic world?
I guess it's one of those ignorance is bliss types of things. Because if I only known an apocalyptic world, I wouldn't have known anything before. Therefore, I wouldn't miss anything. This would be the world that I live in. So naturally, I would have adapted to it. So I would probably just go for only know the second answer.
Okay. I think I might be a glutton for punishment, but I think I'd want to witness it. And I know that sounds stupid because there's risk in that, but like, I know that I wouldn't know any different, but living in a post-apocalyptic world, I'm assuming like, because you're having to rebuild stuff, there'd be all types of weird rationing of resources and, rebuilding and all of this kind of stuff. And I feel like I'd be a bit, oh, I didn't get to see any of it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get to see any of the exciting stuff, and I'm just here now, fucking rebuilding a random building or helping.
Have you ever played the game called Fallout?
No.
So then you wouldn't appreciate the
Is that what they're doing? Are they just rebuilding a post-apocalyptic world?
They're just living in a post-apocalyptic world. Basically, they've come out of like a shelter. So each Fallout has a different shelter and a person that ventures from it, and it's about their journey and surviving in the world. And it's just like the people you meet and the friends you make and the enemies you make, and this person generally has a mission, whether it's to find their dad or to find the last one Fallout 4 was to find this man or woman. We're going to find their child.
You get to build stuff.
You do actually. In the last one, you get to kind of build up your own kind of community. You become sheriff of towns and stuff like that. It's really good.
Okay, I don't even want to play the last one then, because that just sounds like a slightly more exciting Sims, and that's right up my alley. The other versions, though, if I can't build anything, I'm not helping you find your dad or whatever. Like, that's boring.
But also, like, there's like creatures and stuff that become irradiated. So like you get giant radiated scorpions and crazy ogre monsters that have like mutated from people and stuff. I mean, if Fallout was like the post-apocalyptic world, if you lived through the apocalypse, you'd have to like deal with seeing these things for the first time. Like if I was born in this world, I kind of like through all the efforts and struggles of those before me, I would know how to fight them and like who to stay away from.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you would know how to maneuver certain situations. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Discovering this, and that would be a lot harder and scarier, I reckon.
Fuck it. It's still more exciting. I'm still going for that one. Okay, cool. All right. Well, did you enjoy the apocalypse questions?
That was. I really want to play Fallout now. Actually,
You're going to play
I'm
that
not.
after this.
Too late. I'm going to play.
Cool. Okay. Well, the topic for this very last minute episode is the top stories that kind of popped out to me this month of August. So obviously this episode goes out, if you're listening to it on the day that it comes out, it is the 1st of September now. Happy new month. But we are recording this on Tuesday the 31st. So it's kind of like, you know how we were doing the Talk About It network specials, which we haven't done for a few months. And we had all of the viral stories and shit. It's kind of a very, very mini version of that because I've been really, really busy this month and not much. I've not really been paying attention to much, but a few things did stick out to me. So I will ask first, Nick, have you been paying attention to news or viral stories or anything that's been going on?
You know me, bits and bobs.
Bits
I
and
don't
bobs.
really. I don't really. Yeah, like if it's like kind of big news and stuff like that, then I would have heard of it. But I'm not. I'm not really actively on social media, so I've got like the channels and things like that there, but I'm not too crazy on it. So especially like Twitter and stuff. I don't know you love it.
Oh, I live for it. I live for Twitter.
So
Okay, well,
yeah, you might have to kind of explain a couple of things to me.
that's fine. I don't have many, like I said, it's not a lot, but I'm sure you heard about this because if anyone would have heard about this, you would have heard about this.
All right.
OnlyFans banned porn.
Oh my God.
You heard about it, didn't you? Am
Yeah,
I
it was
wrong? Or am I
sleepless
right?
night, that, yeah. Do you know, I've
Well,
never been on it. Not once.
you've never
I've
been on
never,
it. Actually, neither have
never,
I, actually.
I've
For it
never
to be
actually.
this famous and well known, I've never once ventured over there, but good luck to the girls. But OnlyFans announced that they were banning porn and adult material and adult content on their site, which I know they didn't start off as a porn site. I understand that. But that's what's made you your bread and butter. And so obviously a lot of people were losing their minds. They got a lot of flack online. And a few days ago, they reversed their decision. So they announced that actually they won't be doing that, and porn may continue on the site. I don't know if you heard the update, but yeah.
I didn't hear the update, but to be honest, I feel like you said before, just to kind of repeat what you're saying, this is how they, this is where this is where they kind of made their bread and butter, as you said. This was it. This was the reason why so many people were locked in, and a lot of people that were actually a part of the OnlyFans were adapting to their marketing, as it were. So for them to say they're not doing it anymore, and was a bit weird. I was kind of wondering what they wanted to do, like what else is on there.
Well, when they started, I think, and I might be wrong here, but I think that they were like a music site so that, artists could, not necessarily like massive artists that are already making a lot of money, but artists could use that platform to put out their music, kind of like a Bandcamp type situation, I think is what they wanted to do. And then it became like it didn't really pop at all. And then it was like, oh, well, maybe content creators will want to use it. So then it'd be like a Patreon type of thing. But again, that didn't really pop either. But then obviously the sex workers found out about this platform and found out that it was, relatively easy to use. I believe the layout is very similar to Instagram. Again, I've not been on it. I've just heard it. And so it was just very user friendly and pretty close to what a lot of the, people in the industry were kind of using anyway. So, and they weren't taking a massive cut of their money either. And payouts were very quick as well. So I think there were just a lot of positives for sex workers. So they just kind of gravitated towards it and then gravitated towards it in their droves. And then that's what made the company not only famous, but made them a lot of fucking money. And so the decision was kind of just like, wait, what? You're going to do what now? So they're like, oh yeah, from the 1st of October, we're going to ban adult content off our site. And it's like, that's the only content that's on your fucking site. What are you talking about?
Do you know what? Imagine imagine be like behind the scenes, yeah. So of the OnlyFans, just two guys just going, right, okay. So what are we gonna do? And it's like, well, we like music. It's like, right, okay, well, we're gonna make a platform. Bud artists can use our platform for this music. It's like, yeah, that's fantastic. And the other person's like super sleazy, like, oh, I don't know about that. Maybe something like music and boobs, And the other guy's like, no, 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 just strictly music. And it's like, all right, no, it's not really working. Okay, content creators, yeah, let's get some content creators going out. Yeah, it's like, do you know what? I mean, porn's content, innit? And the other one's like, no, no, we just want plain stuff. Don't do it. And then eventually it's like, I've got a couple of guys, maybe just a bit of boob, just get a bit of boob on. And he goes, oh, okay, well, maybe just a bit of boob. And now it's just turned into this massive porn thing. And then so one dude's just like racking up the cash, like, yeah, here we go. Another one's like, I just wanted to make music. And then he's like, do you know what? Enough. I'm just going to turn it off. I can't take it anymore. Maybe they hate the porn aspect. They didn't like it.
Well, as funny as that story was, and as visual that all was, I kind of saw the bathroom and everything. Like, that was amazing. But no, I think from what I can tell, I think the main issue was that they were facing a lot of scrutiny from payment providers.
Right.
So like people like MasterCard, Visa, etc. They've got like strict regulations on paying for sex work. And so I think they were kind of getting a lot of, like, the banking partners were kind of being like, hey, this isn't great. Like, it's all adult content and there's so much money. Like, we're talking billions at this point, right? So I think that's what they were kind of bending to, like, to their will of these kind of banking partners, and being like, oh no, we still want to make money. So let's ban the thing that makes us money. It wasn't well thought out, obviously, but that's pretty much the consensus, that they were trying to appease payment providers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking bankers. I think
Fucking
I think the
bankers.
bankers would have been well up for it. To be honest.
Like, that's the thing that really pisses me off, though. A lot of the and I don't mean for this to go into a rant at all, but a lot of the people that make these fucking decisions are people that spend money on sex and drugs. And those are the things that they are continuously making it impossible for people to pay for using their platforms. It really pisses me off, because it's like, bankers have a problem with porn? Bankers? Really? Like, are you serious?
Some of them are in it.
Literally. Like, it's just it's so, yeah, I hate it. I think that's what I hate so much about how, like, if we just keep it to sex work, how society views sex work, because it's like all of society, bar the odd person here and there, loves it. It's entertaining. They have at some point indulged in pornography, especially, but would never consider the people who are in any of the porn industry in general, would never consider what they do work. Yet they are entertained by it regularly. I'll never understand that. Like, I'll never understand why people don't view sex work as work. Mate, sex work is work, even if you take the entertainment aspect out of it. Like, these people oftentimes are sleeping with people that they don't particularly even want to have a conversation with. Mate, that is work. Like, you'd have to respect that. My goodness.
I couldn't do it. I'd be crying all the time.
Literally. Could not do what they do. And like, they just in addition to doing things that we would not do, we enjoy watching it, we get entertainment from it, but we feel a way about them making money from it. It's horrible. I hate it. Anyway, they've reversed their decision. So we'll see how kind of we move on from here. I think the issue was that the other alternatives weren't as user-friendly, weren't as popular, and I think the companies wanted more. I think I saw a company called Just for Fans or something, something like that, was being like, oh yeah, you guys can come over here on Twitter. And there was a couple of people that were just like, oh, are you going to drop that commission then? Because it was like 30% or something, which is higher than, I think OnlyFans is 20%. And everybody else is like a lot more than that. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see whether people will kind of stay on the platform and keep bringing it money, because it keeps them having money. But yeah, that's the story of OnlyFans.
You feel really passionately about that.
I do. Not necessarily about OnlyFans, but about sex workers being respected because we all get enjoyment out of what they do. And they should, as far as I'm concerned, be able to earn whatever they fucking want and as much of it as possible without
Right.
getting disrespected by us.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, I know that you're not really on Twitter, but you must have seen the crate challenge.
The crate challenge.
Have you
I
been
might
seeing
look.
these milk crate challenges?
Oh yeah, what's that about?
So I don't know how it started, no idea, but people have started or have been throughout the last few weeks stacking up milk crates and walking across them. Some are just walking across them and being like, woo, balance, look, we made it. Some are doing, extra things, rolling blunts at the top of them, doing them in heels. There've been some impressive ones. I got a bit hooked on them until I saw one too many people fall and look like they really fucked up their spinal cords. And I was like, you know what? I can't watch this anymore. This isn't even enjoyable. Yeah,
Surely that
they've
makes it more enjoyable.
say
That's
that
what
again.
surely it makes it more enjoyable. I mean, that's why I'd be watching it.
No, I found that no, it was the opposite for me. Like when they were really good, like when the one of the first ones I saw was the woman who did it in heels, and the fucking crates were stacked so high. It was really impressive. But then like I watched a few of them, and then I just kept seeing people fall on their fucking heads, on their necks, and I was just like, you know what, this isn't it. This isn't it for me because it just made me cringe. So then I was like anticipating the whole time when I was watching new ones. I was like, oh no, they're gonna fall, they're gonna break something. Fuck.
Oh no, get your anxiety. Like,
Exactly.
you being framed must be furious.
Doing this shit for free. Didn't even send it to them.
Shit, what's that about?
Well, they've been under scrutiny, the people that have been partaking in the crate challenge, because people are like, guys, there's still a fucking pandemic. Like, there's still, like healthcare staff still need help and they don't have enough. There's shortages. They're dealing with, you know, I can't say the word, respiratory, breathing issues. And you're now like willingly breaking your fucking necks and having to go to hospital.
Yeah.
So yeah. But have you watched any that you have found interesting? Did you actually watch any of the videos?
No, I just seen it like hashtags and stuff, and I've not really. My attention span is very like unless something particularly grips me, I'm not gonna watch it. Like never. And like I said, I'm very rarely on Twitter. The last time I was on Twitter was when the new Spider-Man trailer came out.
Well, we can talk about that. That's on my list as well.
Is that
What
on your
did you
list?
think about the trailer? Yeah, well, I have to put some movie stuff in here because Redline
Yeah,
Picture and
you
that.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Also, the Spider-Man trailer was fucking amazing. So I want to get your thoughts. What did you like? What are you anticipating, etc.?
Um, so naturally, like what everyone's anticipating, in that all the geeks we're anticipating the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, because we saw a bit of we saw Doctor Octopus. Obviously, we saw the bum from the Green Goblin as well, and the laugh from William Dafoe. And I think we saw some of the Shocker as well, didn't we? In that Electro, sorry, not the Shocker, Electro.
Electro, yeah.
Yeah, like in a big kind of thunderstorm or something. But it was like a kind of gold thunder, so I'm not too sure. But and if they got the same actor playing Doc Ock in that, why wouldn't they bring back Tobey Maguire? So we're expecting a bit. I'm expecting a bit of a multiverse type of thing. We've got Doctor Strange there. Why not?
Well, they are introducing it, aren't they? So I think that's the point, isn't it? The whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they touched on it a little bit, and in Endgame, and of course, it's the plausible road for these guys to kind of go down. Just because there's no one thing they didn't do is they didn't kind of set up any new Avengers, people to kind of pass the buck down to. So they're very much going to focus on the guys that we got left, and it's like, okay, well, they've fought and lost and beaten Thanos. Like, what more can these guys do? And it's just like random, crazy, out of world shit. Let's just make 1,000 of them, and loads of different scenarios and stuff. And we're watching that What If as well, which is really good. But yeah, the trailer looked amazing, and it looked like they told the story quite thoroughly in the trailer. And I know that Disney, not just Marvel, but Disney on the whole, because they do this with Star Wars. They like to throw us off with trailers quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This one is, I think they needed to tell the story to an extent, just so we understood what was going on, because there's crazy shit happening in that trailer. But I think there's a lot that they're hiding from it. I think there's going to be a few surprises. I'm not too sure if it's going to go the way we think it's going to go, and I don't know if I'm intrigued. It could literally. That's the thing about the multiverse. It could literally go anywhere. So I'm just intrigued to see which road they go down, and obviously which road Spidey goes down as well. And what's going to happen with him? Like, is he just going to go, "Nah, fuck it, just make everything back to normal, make everyone know who I am," or is it going to be like, no one knows who I am, and he's just gone back to Spidey again, which would make sense.
Well, I was very excited by the trailer as well. Just because even when I don't really understand what's happening, I just know I'm going to have a good time. Like I just know I will. So even if I don't piece together all of the bits and I won't get it till later or until I see, maybe like somebody like heavy spoilers definition over there kind of explain something to me, I'll be like, oh yeah, totally missed that. But I would have still have had a good time watching it. So that's my favorite thing about sort of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is that I will have a good time whether I understand what's going on or not, which is handy for me.
It was tight that they released that trailer though, just before they actually released Shang-Chi, because obviously that was one that everyone was going to see just cause, and then the Spidey's coming out in December, and everyone's like, "Fucking Spidey!" But we've been waiting for the trailer for ages, so it's just like, oh. And
well, we're all still going to watch Shang-Chi, aren't we, Nick? We've had this conversation. We're going to watch it. Yes, we are. We are going to support it. Absolutely.
Suppose if we must, maybe they'll show a Spidey trailer to it. So
you never know what the hell will happen at the end of it. How could you even? You'd be silly to miss it.
It doesn't look too bad. It looks good.
It looks amazing.
It looks so good. I don't think it. I don't know. It looks. They're setting up a character. Origin stories are never usually like amazing.
Oh, they are to me. We've had this conversation. We've had this fucking argument, because you have an issue with like basically all of the origin stories that aren't fucking Iron Man.
Yeah, I was going to say apart from Black Panther, but I guess that wasn't really an origin story because he was in Civil War.
Yeah, not really.
I liked it. Cap and Iron Man, best origin stories definitely so far. We've seen Spider-Man every time apart from the last their origin story, so that's kind of got a bit boring. I don't know, man. I just don't rate him. It's just a kind of, come on, someone getting new powers, like normal person getting their powers, coming to grips with their powers in life and deciding they want to become a superhero. It's just the same thing.
It's a superhero movie, Nick.
I know it is.
It's literally a superhero movie.
Yeah, this is why I like what they did with Spidey. He was just kind of in the prime, he was just, he was ready Spidey. You just got to see him kick ass a little bit, and that's what I want to see. Just kind of get stuck in. I don't want to go, I can't wait for Shang-Chi 2, because that's when I'm really going to be entertained. It's just like
you don't even know what's going to happen in this one. You just decided that in your head.
I've decided it through years and years and years of watching origin films, and it's just what happens. It's what happens. And Blade wasn't like that. Blade just turned up and kicked ass, which was great. But no. Do you know what? I'm gonna watch it.
I know you are. I'm literally going to force you. So
you know me. I'll probably be the one having the most fun in the cinema. Look at that!
Exactly. I think you will.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you will. I'm so looking forward to it for many reasons. Very, very much looking forward to it. But I do generally love origin stories. I know what you mean about you want them to get stuck in, you want the action, that's where the meat of the story is. And I get that, and I tend to agree. But I also enjoy origin stories because I think the thing that I like the most is seeing a person, usually an ordinary person. I know that's what you don't like, which is them kind of like becoming a superhero. But for me, the thing that I like the most is the moment that they finally have some kind of like belief in themselves. Does that make sense? So like, like there's a moment where it kind of clicks in their mind, where it will be after they've got their powers or whatever abilities or whatever. But it's like, there'll be a moment in the film, in the origin story, where they finally believe in themselves. And I love watching that. I just find that really like sweet and just inspirational. Not that we're going to get powers, but you know what I mean? Just like, just cute and nice, and it kind of, warms the heart up a little bit. So I think that's why I like origin stories, and I'll never find them shit. Like I'll always be like, oh, I was cute. I'll always have a good time.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I see,
But
but it
you're
does.
way too much of a Debbie Downer to enjoy inspirational anything, Nick. This is the
I
problem.
enjoy inspirational lots of things, like Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. He had his kind of moment of, do I want to be Spidey? Do I still want to do this? I mean, it still happens. And I enjoyed the bit where where he kind of drops his glasses or whatever, he crashes them or whatever he does, he realizes that he wants to do it again in Spidey 2. That film was just awesome because he was already Spidey. He was kicking ass, and to the point where he's just deciding just too much, it's getting too stressful. Don't think I can do this on a relationship. And then Doc Ock was like, nah. And then he was like, right, fuck it. And I was like, yeah.
And the bus cheered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's not that I don't, I'll sit there, I will enjoy him. I just think it's a lot to get. I very rarely rewatch many origin films. I'd watch the second one or the third one, for entertainment purposes. I feel like it's something to get through. But I understand what you mean. It's good, it's necessary, because that human aspect makes him relatable. I mean, you relate to someone,
And then you root for them. Yeah.
you root for them a lot more. So I understand its purpose. I don't. It's not. Like
You just don't. It's just not for you. I get it.
It's just not. I'm just not heavily entertained by it. That's all. It's just.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get you. All right. You're still gonna go see it, but I understand. I understand your gripe.
I'll bitch and moan all the way to the cinema. Like, take my fucking money. Comfy seat. I'll eat my popcorn. I'll cheer. Yeah, of course I'm going to cheer. Stan Lee's on. Yeah, of course. Yeah, great. Yeah, of course. Still moaning about it, even though I love it.
Definitely. All right. Shall we change a little bit? Let's leave the MCU for a second and talk about a film that we saw that has killed it in the US box office in their opening weekend. Candyman.
You said it.
I said it. I can say it now, Nick. I can actually say it. I will not spoil and tell people why, but I feel comfortable saying it now.
No offense, but you're in a room by yourself with a candle. If there's one place I wouldn't say it.
That's a good point. You have just terrified me a little bit. Thanks for that.
I'm just saying what it is. If we lose you at any point during this conversation, we know why. Linda?
God, right, don't, please. I will not sleep. Please. Okay, joke is over. I'm over it. Stop it. Do not. This isn't funny. Oh no.
Okay. No, it's fine. You'll be fine.
How do you always manage to do this? Like, if it's not you randomly saying it, right, listeners, right? Fucking hell. This guy, the reason, if you've ever seen me and Nick argue constantly on like a Talk About It network special or something, it's because he's a terrible person, right? And I'll give you an example of why. I'm minding my own business, right? I am at home, I'm chilling, it's late night, like, I couldn't sleep for whatever reason. I see a random notification on my phone. I've got, a Facebook Messenger message from Nick. I'm like, oh, maybe he's just, I don't know, saying hello like friends do. And it's a video. And I'm like, what the fuck is he sending me? You got to be a bit careful with somebody like Nick. Open it. It's some fucking horror thing that he sent me at like 2:00 in the morning on a random weekday. He sends me a horror film. Not a horror film, but a horror clip. Out of nowhere.
Can't even remember what it was.
Just attacking me for no reason. And then people see me yelling at you on streams and they're like, Linda, like, chill out. Like, you didn't even say anything. It's like, you don't understand what he does when we're not live.
I thought, I did it out the kindness of my heart. I thought
that's a lie.
I thought you would have enjoyed it.
That's a lie. Because when I messaged you back going, what the fuck, you sent all of the laughing emojis. So you knew exactly what you were doing. You didn't think I would just enjoy it. Also, you know me, I'm a scaredy cat. Why? Why would I enjoy that at 2 a.m?
I thought we're tiptoeing around the issue.
What?
Did you or did you not enjoy it?
What is wrong with you? What do you like? This whole reaction is that I did not. Oh, do you know what? Right, let's move on. Anyway. The word I'm now a little bit too scared to say because you freaked me out a tiny bit.
Are you looking behind you? Is that why you're Is
Huh?
that why the mic went down? Did you just look behind you? I could hear
I
your
did.
mic.
Did you hear me move?
Yeah, I could hear you moving and stuff. You'll be all right, mate. You'll be all right.
Oh, do you know what it is? It's because I'm right. So I'm on my bed and I can't see behind my, and I am actually going to have to just stop for a second so I can just check my bed. There's a gap behind my bed and now I'm freaking out. So just give me a minute. Hang on.
Oh my god, what have I done?
It's a shit. Okay, right. I've checked, so everything is fine. I might have to edit that out because I sound like such a wimp. But, um, okay. Anyway, so the film was good. Oh, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Okay, so the film was good, and Nia DaCosta became the first black female director to debut a movie in the number one weekend spot at the domestic US box office.
Woo!
So that was my first reaction also, and then I was like, it is 2021 and we're still having first black stuff. It's really annoying. Like
Yeah.
I celebrate and then I go, oh fucking hell, really? What?
Yeah.
But um still amazing, still a great
Oh,
film.
oh,
What were your
stunning.
thoughts? Obviously I was with you and I know you enjoyed it, but what were your thoughts about the movie overall?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really well directed. I thought some of the horror scenes in it were amazingly done. I think it rivals and even beats a lot of what James Wan's been doing, especially lately. Just because we're seeing horror in ways that we've not seen it before. I thought it was a very important film. I know that the first Candyman was it had it had a motive, you know, it had something that he wanted to say
Mm-hmm.
in this one. I think this one was very much kind of heavily focused on that. I think it's, you know, that, you know, I feel it was very, you know, a very kind of very political stance. It definitely had a message, a very strong message it wanted to portray. And I think it did that quite a lot for a horror film. I feel like it. I thought again. I think it was good that it did that, but I feel like it did kind of drown out some of the horrorness
Yeah.
a little bit. And I think that's what you enjoyed about it because it
Yes.
wasn't so terrifying. For me as a horror fan, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more horror. In there, I thought like it. I thought some of the build-ups were good. I just yeah. It wasn't scary at all. Which in a horror film should be a bad thing.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, if you're going to see a horror film and it doesn't scare you, then it means the horror film is not very good. And this one was weird though because I don't think it's a good horror film, but I do think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus among real horror fans like yourself. I've kind of seen a lot of this type of commentary where it's people are like, I it's not a horror, like it's not scary enough to be considered a horror film, but usually that would mean I would say it was a shit film, but I still enjoyed it and it was a good film. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think your sentiments are pretty popular among your people, your horror fan type people. But yeah, like you said, that was the bit that I liked. No, let me rephrase that. The thing I like the most is the messaging. The
Mm.
messaging behind it was the thing I liked the most. The second thing I liked was the direction. Um, there were some absolutely incredible shots. Like, and again, I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but Nick, if you remember the point where when they were in the window and then yeah,
That was what I was
and then the
referring to.
camera
Yeah,
pulled away, that was
yeah.
that's still in my head. Like it was beautifully shot. Yeah, there were some incredible scenes. And then the third favorite thing for me was that it wasn't scary. Like it wasn't as scary as I was thinking it was going to be. I was terrified going in. I had liquid courage and was still a bit anxious. And there were a couple of moments where I thought I was going to like, you know, be running out of the, the screen, but no, I mean, they ended up not like they set it up and then it ended up being not so bad, which was good. It is gory though, which is good. I like gore. I just don't like jump scares. I don't really like paranormal anything. I don't like any of that type of stuff, which, you know, horror fans, that's what you guys want. You want to be scared by that type of shit. So yeah, it's not really a horror in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
But definitely, I loved it. I thought it was such a good movie. I'm kind of wanting to go see it again.
Yeah, I think Alan would like this because Alan's like he doesn't like all the paranormal horror
Yeah.
stuff. But I think he'd love this. It's definitely a horror for him. I think Mike would side a lot with me on this. So again, I think he would be, it was good, but not enough horror.
Mike
That's
and
all.
I were having that conversation at the weekend, and I was telling him the exact same thing. Like, he said he'd had a conversation with you about it, and I was saying to him, "Don't go in there thinking you're going to be. It's not a horror. Like, you're not going to be scared. You're not going to have that like rush that you guys get from being scared and enjoying it. Like, you're not going to get that. But it is a good film. I'd still recommend it. Um, yeah, but yeah, if I think yeah, you're right. Actually, Alan's a bit more like me. He doesn't like scary stuff, so I think he'll enjoy
Yeah, that's why he hates Mike and myself.
it.
Yeah, we're just all about the horror. He's just sat there like, nope, nope,
Nope.
nope. Okay, this is not okay. Nope.
Especially anything paranormal. My goodness, like I love like thrillers. I love gory stuff. Like we were talking about the Saw movies as well the other day. Like I love all that type of stuff because for me, which is kind of silly when you think about it, but for me, when it's a person behind it, I'm fine. If it's a
Yeah.
person doing terrible things, I'm actually okay with it. But if it's some kind of paranormal creature, ghost thing, or anything like super religious and just out worldly or anything like that, that lives in my head. I cannot. I won't sleep. I won't be able to do anything. Like I will just freak out. But if it's people, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, because you don't understand it, do you? When it's something paranormal, and then your
Yeah.
imagination just runs away with itself. You're like, and then you start imagining things that weren't even in the film that could happen. Because it's built up in your mind with the
Yes,
people.
I think that's what it is because I have already such an imaginative like brain. Like whenever someone tells me a story or tells me about something, an event that happened or whatever, like I visualize absolutely everything. And so I'm already a very visual person. So I think if something happens that scares me, my brain will take that and run with it and it will scare me for eternity. Like I'll just be scared. Like there are certain things I'm still scared by now that I saw when I was a child by accident. Like there was this random, I don't even know if it was a movie or a series. I feel like it was a movie. I was literally very, very young. Like I think I was maybe 6, maybe. I don't know. I was very young and I was in Kenya and there was something on the telly. I think it was a movie and no idea what the plot was, no idea what it's called, none of that. But there were parts where like people would pull back their faces and they had like these rats that lived in their faces, like in their skulls.
No,
That image has stayed in my mind until now.
that sounds horrible.
It's the most horrific thing I caught a 2-second glimpse of ever.
Oh my
Another
god!
thing that I refuse to watch, the Thriller video.
What?
I don't mind the Thriller video, but the thing I won't watch is the monster, the wolf thing. And I know watching it now, it's going to look like a fucking teddy bear, right? It's going to look like obviously fake and not scary at all. But
Wait a minute.
because
Are you
it
talking
scared me
about
when
the?
I was a kid, I can't do it.
Is this the werewolf at the beginning?
Yeah.
What? Come on.
When they come out the cinema and like Michael's being all like weird or whatever and smiling, even that kind of scares me a little bit when he's smiling a bit too hard and it's all dark. I don't like that. And then when he turns into the werewolf, like I have to close my eyes every single time without fail. And when I do watch the Thriller video, because I'll watch the rest of it, like I'll watch all the dancing and all that kind of stuff. But you see when he's all zombified in the face when they're
Yeah.
dancing, that
Yeah.
particular image, every time I watch the Thriller video, that particular image will stay with me for a good couple of weeks. And every time I close my eyes, I'll see zombie Michael.
Oh, mate, it's fine because there's zombies and they're dancing and it's awesome.
I know. That's kind of how I talk myself out of being scared though, like when that still happens. And I'll just picture the dances instead, and that kind of calms me down. And that stops me from being scared, but it doesn't stop me from seeing that face every time I close my eyes for a certain period of time after. So that's what I
Do you know,
mean. Images stick to my head too much for me to purposely scare myself.
no, I hear what you. My sister was the same. She could never watch the beginning. I loved it. I remember sat there watching the videotape, just loving it, man. Just rewinding it each time as well, just thinking this is the best thing ever. Loved it. It was a good start, and I think the transformation was done really well. I think it's like It's very underrated, especially for a music video, but it's done really well. It's such a kind of like almost kind of cult horror, style. It's great. And then he just makes a zombies dance. The whole Thriller video is a work of art. It's brilliant. Even now, it stands up. I think it's great. I'd watch it now.
Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna watch that and then play Fallout? Is that the plan for this?
Yeah, maybe just do it at the same time. Yeah, just flip through it and just play a bit of Fallout. You've inspired me today.
Good. I'm glad. Well, so since we're talking about movies, let's finish up the topic then. The movies that came out this month that I want to see. Are there any that you want to see that you haven't seen yet?
Yeah, the Suicide Squad 2.
Yes, that's on my list.
I've not seen it, and I don't know why I've not seen it, but I just haven't. I've just not got around. I might see it tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Wednesday.
Where's Wednesday? Do you want to go see it?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go see Suicide Squad. Yes.
Yeah, sweet. Cool.
Perfect. All right, plan. Right, the other one that I want to see, I've just been talking about how I don't like scary films, but this one isn't really scary like that. Like, it's gory more than anything. And again, it's a person behind it. Don't Breathe 2 came out. Did you know about this?
I did read the synopsis of it, and I've seen a few reviews, so I'm a bit underwhelmed.
Oh no, does it look shit?
It sounds shit, and I think it's by the plot of it, it's gonna be a shit film. I can already see how it could be a shit film. Then I looked at some of the reviews on it, and they're not good. They're not good. They said they've taken away all the element that made the first one a kind of passable film.
Oh.
So, yeah. But yeah, that's what's put me off from it. Read the reviews yourself, have a bit of a look, but I'd just say probably don't go into the cinema expecting much.
Oh, I might not watch that in the cinema then. Fuck that. Okay, last one then. This one isn't a cinema film. Sweet Girl on Netflix.
I have not heard of it.
Heard about that? It's not like a scary or anything, but it looks like there's a bit of action in there, which is good. It's got Khal Drogo. Seriously, why is it his Game of Thrones name comes to my head first every single time? Literally in this order. This is how I remember his name: Khal Drogo, which is obviously his character in Game of Thrones. And then the next thing I remember is his Instagram handle, which is Pride of Gypsies. And then I remember his name. Oh no, then I think Aquaman.
I was going to say Aquaman didn't come up.
Yeah, no, Aquaman's probably third now, to be fair. Especially because they've been filming it, so I've been seeing random clips on. Anyway, yes, so that's the new film that's out now on Netflix. So I'll hopefully get a chance to check that out this weekend. Any other ones that came up for you?
Yeah, isn't it like about isn't his daughter like a badass or something?
Yes, that's that one.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it looks good. Not really. I've been sent a few films from people. I randomly couldn't sleep the other night. So I was just like, still up. Does anyone have any good films to watch? And I was surprised at how many people were up at that same time in the morning as well on Facebook and Instagram. So I've got a lot of them Battle Rat fans. So some of them just mates. And I just got like literally just loads of films I need to kind of just get through now. So I watched The Pianist the other day. Someone shouted Scott Pilgrim, so I watched that. So I'm kind of going back and rewatching films at the moment, but nothing kind of that I'm really anticipating. Spidey's the main one at the moment. Suicide Squad.
Spidey, yeah,
loads of fun. Apart from that, there's nothing else that I'm really kind of that excited. Oh no, actually no, there was one. It was remember that one that we saw that James Wan did with the devil thing, Gabriel. What was that called?
Yeah, is that the trailer that I closed my eyes for?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I'm not the right person to ask then, am I? My eyes are closed.
Oh, what was it called? I can't remember.
No idea. Oh, that reminds me though, we also saw the Halloween trailer. Can't wait for the Halloween movie.
Yeah, Halloween.
Very excited. Looks great. Oh, and Venom as well. We saw the Venom trailer.
Yeah.
I like Venom.
I like Venom. As I like the character. He was my favorite comic book character when I was a kid, and Carnage as well. I love them both. That film was called Malignant, by the way. So that was the one that I want to say. But the trailer for me, it looked okay. I think I would enjoy the second Venom better than I enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one fell a little bit flat for me.
Oh, I liked that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I did enjoy it. I thought Tom Hardy was just so awkward. It took me out of it a lot, and I think it was very rushed. It felt extremely rushed, and I think there could have been more time spent on just them, kind of. It sounds weird again for an origin film, but a bit more time them kind of adapt, kind of growing their relationship. He just kind of got a bit subdued to it, and I think there could have been a bit more, like even Spider-Man 3, which was a trash film, but you could see his, that the fact that the symbiote was seducing him a little bit and him kind of trying to fight it, but slowly kind of things were changing. He was just getting a bit more edgy and a bit more antsy, and just his personality was changing. I would have loved it to be done like almost like an indie movie, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't see Venom until like the kind of the middle of the second act, and then like straight action for the first. And I would have preferred it just being, because Tom Hardy's a good actor, so he could have just been him. Like whatever happens to him happens, or you may not even have seen it, but you can just see him just changing, like just again a normal guy reporter just doing what he does, Eddie Brock, and then eventually just starts slowly changing and just gets a bit darker and stuff. That would have been a better film for me. I would have preferred watching something like that. This one was just very rushed. It was quick. He was just Venom, and he was just a bit silly. And I like the comedy aspects. I did like Venom in it, but it was just a bit, it was a bit too rushed for me. But it was all right. It was all right.
No, you can't please everyone, can you? Bloody hell. God.
This is why I like
it's almost as if this is your passion, Nick. Fuck.
I know, right?
The rest of us are just going, having a good time at the cinema, a bit of popcorn and whatnot. And there you are, just like, well, this could have been done like that, and then they could have built the story up more like this, and it was just very rushed for me.
I'm sorry, it does, but this is why as well. This is why I'm also a nightmare to go to the cinema with. So I'm just like, no, they did that. Nah, it shouldn't be done like that. Why they done that there? Or my reaction is that was amazing, and I love feeling like that. I love feeling like there was nothing else that I could have done. Wasn't expecting that. That was great. They literally took me by surprise. The acting was amazing. The visuals were great. The score was great. I love coming out of the cinema feeling like that. This is why I love film, because I love being amazed and shocked by movies. Like when like potentially good films, when you got good characters and good good base for good films are done kind of average. For me, that's still bad. It should be brilliant. And when it's okay, it's not good enough.
Well, to be fair, it is very cute watching you like get all excited and geeky about something that that like when you watch something and you're like you didn't expect it, or you're just super impressed, you get all like fanboy-y. It's adorable. Okay.
No, Marder's cars, me. No, damn, that was all right with it. Not Mark up with tea. I'm going to go down the pub.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for the film chat, and for giving us your opinions on.
Holy crap! We are actually still recording. Do you know what? It feels like we're just having a chat.
Just having a bit of a natter, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, we're at the final segment of the show, so you know about this, but to any new listeners, people listening in for the first time, I have this segment called Mahakama, which is Swahili for court, specifically High Court. And it is the part of the show where I can pass judgment, because I can be quite a judgmental person, but I'm trying to show more grace in my life, and to others and to myself. So I just need this little space. I need this bit of time where I can just have a bit of a vent, and just get something off my chest, and hopefully allow the guest co-host to do the same. Usually I have a bit of a list of things, either behaviors or whatever, and kind of just find out whether you'd give them mercy or no mercy. But today, Nick, I only have the one, because it was the thing that pissed me off today on my travels back from Edinburgh.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
So I'm going to tell you what happened, and I've already, obviously, spoiler alert, it pissed me off, but I want to find out that if you were me, whether you would have mercy or no mercy in that situation.
Right. Okay.
So I'm at Edinburgh Waverley Station, trying to kill some time while I wait for my train, and I'm trying to do some work as well. So I go to the Starbucks in the station, and I'm trying to work, trying not to be distracted by my phone or whatever. I've got my headphones on, I've got a podcast on, so it's pretty loud in my ears, and I can't really hear conversation because, I've got over the ear headphones and, got a lot going on. All of a sudden I hear this like humming, and I have no idea what the song is, but this lady that was sat not that close to me that I should have been able to hear absolutely every single fucking note of this melody, but she was humming something but on repeat. And it was like, she's there with, so there were two of them, and one of them was eating and the other one had finished and they were just having a sip of coffee or whatever, but she sat there humming and loud. And because we were like on the same kind of bench of chairs, it's almost like I could feel it reverberating through the chair. Now that's probably an exaggeration, but it pissed me off so much that it may as well have been factual.
Really?
And she did it for, I'm not lying, a good 10 minutes. She was humming for 10 minutes until they left. Now, if this was you, Nick, obviously there were no repercussions for her. I didn't do anything. I didn't lose my shit. I was just really irritated. But if this was you, would it have annoyed you? First of all,
it depends really, because I know that there is like some people have conditions where they have to do it. I can't remember what it's called. Like it begins with M. Like,
oh, you are going to make me out to be a terrible person now, aren't you, Nick?
No, I can't. No,
Fuck.
it's like misophonia, something like that. But yeah, so they can't help it, and it's usually caused by anxiety and such. So she was.
Oh, okay. I will say that I don't think it was that, and that's not just because it makes me sound like a shit person if it was that.
Oh.
But because because she was having a conversation with the person that she was with, and then when the girl that she was with was like went back to sort of eating a sandwich or whatever, she would just kind of hum this repetitive. It sounded like a song. I just don't know what the song was.
Sure. I guess again, like, I'm really sorry. All of my answers are always. I don't ever really see things in black and white. I'm not like, yeah, unless it is just black and white. Like that would piss me off, or someone get a bullet in the head if they got a scratch.
Wow. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Certain things are black and white. Other things are like someone's life. Yeah, that's black and white for me. No, but again, I guess it depends. So, I suppose if I was in a particularly I was in a rush, or I was hungover, or just in a particularly bad mood, it was a hot day and I just wanted to just kind of be left alone, I was in my zone in that, and I just heard this constant humming, then yeah, I guess it would probably bug me a bit. I'm quite patient when it comes to things like that. If something irks
You're
me,
patient.
I am, yeah, especially when it comes to strangers. I am.
So it's just us lot that that you're impatient with.
I'm not impatient with you guys. I just like winding you up. That's the thing. I mean, I'm good mates with Michael Allen. I have to be very patient. If you ever seen one of our shoots in the Red Lion Den, I've got my hands in my head most of the time. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it just depends. Like, how it was. I listened to pretty loud music, so if the humming was louder than that, then it probably would bug me a bit. Yeah, but I guess it's just, again, it's just, I don't think it's something that I get like overly pissed off with.
Oh, well, I was sat there quite annoyed. I'm not gonna lie, but obviously not annoyed enough I would never kind of impose my being irritated on somebody else, especially a stranger. Like if it was somebody I knew, I'd like, if I was sat there with someone I knew and for whatever reason I'm sat there with my headphones on and they started humming, I would have been like, can you just listen to music, please, or something? Like, don't do that. Like, but obviously because it's a stranger, I would never do that. But I would just remember sitting there, just being like, oh my god, this is like, do I leave? Do I still have like an hour to go? Do I try and go find some reliable Wi-Fi somewhere else? Like, I can't take this. And that was me for the 10 minutes that she did that until they left.
Oh my god. Yeah, but do you know what it is as well? I mean, I've got 3 kids. And I mean, sometimes they're all humming at the same time, very loudly.
Oh wow!
And sometimes it's not even the same song. They're all singing their own different. And that's just. I've got a way of just kind of, just kind of blocking it out, I guess.
That's true. Although I have a theory that it is a lot easier to like do that with kids. Like it's a lot easier to kind of just ignore when kids are being annoying rather than adults. For me, maybe that's just me, but like I feel like I have a lot more grace for kids. I'm just like, well, they're kids, you know, it is what it is. But like when adults do the exact same thing, I'm like, stop it. Like I get really wound up. But if it was a kid, I'd just be like, well, you know,
Well,
children.
that's true. Yeah, that's true. But to an extent, then it depends what it is, because if
Yeah,
the
I don't know
adult
if I
thinks
could
the
do
same thing,
humming of
like
three different songs at the exact same time. That might be a
yeah,
bit much.
sometimes it's like, guys, yeah, keep it down because daddy's got. Like, yeah, yeah, no, but if adults are doing the same things as kids, then surely it's kids, adults acting like children, which isn't really forgivable, depending on
Yeah.
what it is. So yeah, so I can understand your frustration.
All right. So what are
Yeah,
you saying then? Are you saying mercy or no mercy? I'm guessing it sounds a lot like a no, like a mercy from you.
yeah, I would probably show them mercy. I think there's a just because obviously I think I'd need to be there and analyze the situation, and to decide how annoying it was. Like from how you've described it, it sounds like you were quite annoyed, and I can imagine it being quite a frustrating situation if you were watching this on a film and someone was sat there trying to listen to music and someone's humming really loudly. You can just see them slowly kind of progressively getting more and more annoyed, and it will be so relatable. You're just like, oh my god, that would be so annoying. You'd say that
Yeah.
watching it, but being there, I guess it just depends on the circumstances. I guess so. I'd probably say mercy.
Well, at the time it was happening, I definitely felt like no mercy.
Yeah,
But, you know, now that I'm home, you know, I've had a nice relaxing shower, I'm chilled out, we've talked about movies. Now I'm like, mercy. At the time it was a big fat no mercy. I was furious, but you know, now it's not so
isn't that
bad.
the case a lot of times though? Sometimes because you're just in it, you're in the moment. You
Yeah,
know, when you take time to reflect. It's a bit different.
it's true. All right, well, that's it. We've come to the end of the show. Is there anything that you would like to promote or let the listeners know about, Nick?
Nah,
Nah.
I'm only joking. No, I'd like to give a massive shout out to Redline Picture. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and pretty much all social media platforms. Also, shout out Have a Go Show is the new thing I'm starting up with Briggsy and Abbott as well. We're just doing a whole bunch of different things, a lot of food tasting, beer tasting. We're going to different extreme sport, a lot of outdoor activities and things like that. We've posted a few pictures just now on the social media platforms as well. So give Have a Go a quick butchers, and of course a massive shout out to Premier Battles, fresh from a Premier Battles event final. Shout out to Bizzo Bond for winning the Anarchy tournament. Shout out Bobby Rex for an amazing performance as well. Shout out everyone involved, fans, everyone that was taking part, doing interviews like Wiretap and yourself, Linda, and shout Talk About It Network as well, and for the Mercy and
Yeah.
Sarcasm City, of course. Yeah.
Of course, of course. Yeah. Well, I will link Redline Picture in the description as well as Have a Go Show. Absolutely do follow them, please. A lot of you that listen to this probably found it via some kind of, battle rap person that was a special guest co-host. So you probably already know about Premier Battles, but you know what? I will link them as well so that you should follow them as well. So, yeah. And as for me, same old, isn't it? Shout out, Talk About It Network. And hopefully some of the shows that I was doing on the Sarcasm City channel will come back when I've stopped being outside so goddamn much. But restrictions have lifted, so I've literally been outside, outside since. So
What's happening with what's politicking you?
well, it's just that we could never get it to, you know, align. As soon as the restrictions lifted, it was like I was out every single week. Like it sounds ridiculous, but I was out every single weekend. There were the first weekend, I can't remember what weekend it was. It's like the week beginning the 19th, literally when the restrictions lifted. There was an event on both days in London. I was there. Following 2 weekends, there were events on the Saturdays in Manchester. I was there. And then the following Saturday was an event in London. I was there. And so we missed that whole thing. And then I had 1 week off, which was last week, but I think there was a lot of football content or something that was on the channel. And we hadn't really kind of convened and tried to figure out when we could bring it back. And then this past weekend, I was out. So it's tough right now, but hopefully we'll get ourselves together and at least, continue to put stuff out every other Saturday or start again as we did. But we'll see. I mean, it's getting colder. So hopefully people will be busy less in terms of on a Saturday. And hopefully it will be back soon because I miss doing it, actually. There's been a lot of stupid things that have happened in politics that I would have loved to have a rant about. But, show's not been on.
You have to get the out your system.
Yeah, I did, man. We've been in, as you know, as everyone listening knows, we have been in the house. We have been in the house for so long. And the thing is I didn't think I would miss socializing as much as I did. I've always been the type to socialize on my own terms. Like I like it when I'm out, but I'm very, very fine on my own, like in my own company at home, chilling. But I really, really missed being around people and doing fun stuff that did not involve being inside my house. So yeah, as soon as restrictions lifted, I've had one weekend at home. So
you don't have to worry about that tonight. You've got Candyman to look after you as well, so you'll be fine.
You know what? We're going to see Suicide Squad tomorrow, innit? I'll slap you.
Oh, no.
I'm slapping you tomorrow. Wow, wow. All right, well, I'm going to cut this off now because I'm scared. So yeah, guys, check out my Twitter at Linda Shapupi. I've come off private. So you can find out whatever else I've been involved in on there. Follow at Pod of Mercy on Twitter and Instagram, please. And if you enjoyed this episode, have listened to others, please do rate the podcast on iTunes. That would make it easier for people to find it and hopefully enjoy it like you did. So other than that, I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.